Alrighty, so it's finished at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 2, Wolves 2. Ash, break it down for us. First half. Should we start first half?
Bro, I've completely forgotten.
My
mind's completely...
No,
I'm joking. No. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, no, just completely wiped my mind. I'm like, what? We lost?
What happened? Yeah.
Oh, we drew?
Yeah, we drew.
Yeah, we drew 2-2. Obviously, the first goal went in for Wolves.
Yeah.
And it was against the run of play. We had all the ball. We had a domination, pinned them back. Then all of a sudden, they get up the field, win a free kick.
A simple ball across, wasn't it? Like, no one read it, and it's just so easy, wasn't it? It was a great finish, though, wasn't it?
It was a good finish, it was, yeah. By Huang?
Juan or Chan? We still haven't worked out.
I think it's Huang. I'm going with Huang, yeah?
I think it's Chan.
And he literally, he took his chance well, outside the box, curler, bottom corner.
Forster couldn't have really done anything there.
Nah.
And then we equalised through, I think, a Bentancur header. Yeah,
that's correct.
Corner.
Yeah.
Bentancur thumping header at the near post.
Yeah.
Got us straight back into the game. Felt like we deserved that at least.
Yeah.
Didn't we? And then, Brennan Johnson wins the penalty.
Yeah.
Went to VAR, clip on the back of the heels. He just got there, just ahead of the Wolves player. Gave a penalty. Son went bottom left, saved, and it kind of
defining moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it kind of summed up Son's kind of game and career and everything. Wasn't it really?
Yeah, not career. That's too harsh. I'd say it is. Yeah,
not career, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, his latest form, his season.
But then we went 2-1 up, and I can't remember who scored our second goal.
2-1. It was a lovely goal from my mind's gone. My mind's gone too.
I saw it today.
Yeah, Johnson. It was Johnson that scored the goal.
Kulu finds a bit of space, cuts onto his left foot, pulls it back for Brennan Johnson, and he sort of side foots it home.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, this is probably a fair reflection of the complexion of the game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, they were getting a lot of space down the left-hand side. We did look a little bit vulnerable, as we always do, down the flanks. But you still felt as though we probably edged that. I feel like we edged that game. Should have probably finished 2-1. And as it was, Strand Larsen, from a very acute angle, almost slices the ball into the roof of the net.
Yeah.
And that was 2-2. I mean, the subs actually, I felt like the subs that we brought on, Saar brought a lot of energy, didn't he, when he came on?
Yeah.
And actually, he was getting into some goal-scoring opportunities somehow. I don't know how, but he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
And definitely we could have won that game, should have won that game. It does feel a little bit, very disappointing after that. Because I would have just taken a grimy, hard-fought 1-0, win there.
Yeah, because I thought it was quite interesting, because I expect Spurs to be a lot more front-footed in terms of, like, going for it, trying to get that third goal. And I just felt we lacked a bit of quality in the final third, in my opinion.
There's no real killer instinct, is there, anymore? Like, there's no real... I mean, if you go back to the Spurs teams of old, there'd always be at least one star player in there that could just...
I think
with a killer instinct, but
maybe
we don't have that anymore, do we?
Kulu was meant to be that guy for us. Do you know what I mean? I know people quite mixed or split opinion about him. There's a lot of fans that, they think he should be the captain. He's the main man. He's having the best season. Maddison was dropped. And actually, when it came to Kulu in the final thirds, I think he kind of let us down at times. There was times I thought he could pull the trigger. I think he could, find the play a bit quicker. And there was one time when you said, it's just gone sideways. It was between him and Son. And they literally just passed it between each other, and then it ended up going backwards. And it's at those moments there when you need your big players to step up, take their man on, drop a shoulder, and then get a shot off.
That's what I'm saying, the difference between a good player and a great player. They just drop a shoulder and get a shot off, but
that
a few chances
rarely happened from any of our players, in my opinion. So.
Even Solanke had a chance. He was through on goal, really, and it's just like his touch should have been towards the goal, but he was still kind of kept out wide, wasn't it, a little bit? And then he was shaping up, getting himself into position to get the shot off, and he got... it got blocked, didn't it?
And for me, like, I look at the confidence of some of the players, and I feel like it's dropped a little bit.
Confidence, or do you just think?
There's no reason why you don't go towards the goal. Like, you're the striker. You got space in behind. You attack the space. You try to get towards the goal mouth as close as possible, so then you can open up your hips and pick your corner.
It was just so slow to open up his hips as well.
Yeah, you're a striker. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You're meant to be ice cold in those moments, and you're trying to be. And we're meant to be an attacking team. And I was like watching the game, and I'm like, we're not making enough openings, in my opinion. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the ball, even though I know you don't like stats. If some of the stats,
some of them anyway. Yeah, I don't like.
Yeah, they weren't really you know, we didn't have a great deal of chances, didn't have a great deal of possession, but I didn't really care as long as we got the win. I said, this is a must-win game for me. This is the 3 points that's needed, especially against Wolves, who are like bottom. I mean, they're like 17th, I kid you not. You know, they were in the bottom half of the table before.
I'd actually say they're probably the worst team I've seen this season at our stadium.
Well, other than Southampton. Well, actually, we went away to Southampton.
Yeah, at our stadium.
At stadium, yeah.
That's probably the worst performance I've seen from an away team, and still we couldn't break them down. It's a bit.
It's worrying times. It's worrying issues, and I personally don't think much will change going into Newcastle, because that's the next game we have. They're going to come to our ground, and this was the game I was expecting us to, get a performance.
Some points on the board.
Get some points on the board
from this game.
See a reaction, because it's not been good. Let's face it. And I just saw Ange on the sidelines just shaking his head.
Just every time the camera cuts to him, he's just doing that same shake of the head, isn't he? Like,
yeah, literally. Man. I mean, what can you say?
Any good performances today?
I was just about to ask you, and I'm scrambling.
Gray looked composed.
I was going to say, you said before.
came on and looked good.
Yeah,
he came on. He just brought some energy.
Yeah,
getting into some good positions. Apart from that,
what did you make of Bentancur's performance coming on? Out of two between him and Basuma.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
It's funny though, when I'm watching a game, it's difficult to isolate the individual performances, because that's not the way that
look at the game.
My brain doesn't work that way. I'm looking at it holistic. I'm looking at the entire team and the way they're moving forwards. I don't isolate too much on the players, but I thought Bentancur did all right.
Pause that way. Hold on a second. Just on that, Bentancur picked up a yellow card.
Yeah.
He's going to miss next game. So
is that right?
Yeah. Okay. So he will miss out because he was one yellow card away from suspension.
Oh, that's why he was beating the ground after that.
Yes, right.
Okay, that's why he was doing that. He was smashing the ground with his fist, wasn't he?
And the doggy's going to be out as well.
So the doggy got injured.
He picked up a hamstring injury. So that means we are forced to play Reguilon again.
Reggie's back, yes. Reggie's back.
Yeah, like on the injury front, you just can't make this up. Do you know what I mean? And it comes back down to what you were saying. It is the way we're either training or the way we're playing.
There's way too many injuries, and I think it's the frantic way that we play football. It's the lack of squad rotation. I just think the way we play, that's kind of it allows for the conditions for more injuries, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got Ben Davies about to come on, it looks like. We're going to go into the fan show straight away, are we, Sam? No, we're not. No, in 2 minutes. Okay. What would you like to talk about?
I mean, look, I was just going back onto holistically, because you talked about the team, how you look at it, and
they didn't press that much, though, did they? Today? Yeah, they were sat back. They were kind of dropping back quite a lot.
I just thought, in terms of that, was it on purpose? Because are we trying to conserve energy after playing so many games, 3 days, and actually we look worse when we play games like Thursday, Sunday, like we did today? It always seems like there's a drop-off after the Europa game. There's a drop-off. Today we're seeing it again. We played the game 3 days ago, and now we're playing the game again, and we're not looking quite as fresh and sharp as we should do.
It's only 2 games a week. I mean, you've got to be able to deal with that.
No, I just personally, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
Yeah.
I just think watching Spurs, there's a noticeable drop-off when we play on a Sunday. Like, we just don't look as sharp, in my opinion. It's not an excuse.
No.
It's not. Like, build us bigger squad then. Get better players in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or manager, rotate the players better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's one thing I have noticed. That game there, I was watching it and I was like, I didn't mind if we won it ugly. It's all about getting the points.
What do you think, player-wise?
Who dropped off? Basuma. Well, I say dropped off. He hasn't been playing well all season, has he? So, but I did not see him in the game, not once.
No.
Dragushin wasn't amazing. I wouldn't say he was terrible, but again, a player to the pass, like, in possession sometimes, when he drilled off to the wide position, there was times when I'm like, just play it simple, play it quickly. He dwindled on the ball a bit, which kind of forced us to lose possession. So I wasn't exceptionally happy with his performance on the ball. And we do miss that, a player that can play out from the back. I mean, obviously Gray was all right, but then who else dropped off? Fullbacks, Porro didn't really do much for me. Let's go. Son would be an obvious one.
Son looks really jaded. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he's just not at the races at the moment. He had that one chance when he picked the ball up and he started running after he missed the penalty, in fact. So he actually felt like, we saw a bit more from him. But we want to see those type of things that during the game without the penalty. Do you know what I mean? Just pick the ball up and run with it. Take your man on. Just take a bit of initiative. Do you know what I mean? And as a captain, you need to be the leader.
Yeah,
he's not a leader at the moment.
No.
He's not a leader on the pitch. So
he just looks a little bit almost depressed, doesn't he, Son? I don't know what it is. Just his whole demeanour is just not right.
It's a bit off. Yeah. Solanke was hit and miss for me.
Solanke, disappointing.
Hit and miss. It wasn't really.
I mean, you could see he was really working hard.
He was,
and
but
running back. But
from your striker, you want good movement in the box. So when you're playing those, because we had a few crosses in the box, and I felt that I need him in there. I need him in that
back post where Timo actually got the cross in, didn't he? Made a yard for himself, got whipped in a cross, and there was no one there at the back post.
There was one when he was quite near. We just missed it when Timo whipped it in.
And you said Brennan Johnson should have been there.
Right then. Yeah. So even Brennan Johnson, he was on the pitch at the first half, but he didn't really offer a lot.
No, he was getting a lot of space down the right hand side, but then there was just nothing kind of.
He did one cross into the box, but was it quality?
I mean, he won the penalty, okay, fair enough, and he got the goal. It's funny though, kind of stats-wise, it looks okay, but it's a little bit like
it's not enough.
He's not showing enough for me on.
It's not enough.
Pitch.
And that's the problem with, as you said before, stat padding.
Stat padding.
We're coming this culture where, goals and assists. I know. That's how you measure players.
Like it. We never used to talk so much in those ways, like 15 years ago.
Black and white. Yeah, it doesn't give enough context.
It's like kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like make it all about stats.
Yeah.
And it's almost in a way, I think it's to detriment to the game because it's like players aren't willing to make that pass or take that man on because they don't want to see their stats fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like when you're watching Spurs a little bit like they're trying to keep it safe too much.
Yeah.
Lack of movement, just play it around, recycle the ball, and it's just a bit predictable, isn't it?
It is.
But predictable result, I guess. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's to some people, 2-2's actually not too bad, but considering what's been happening recently, but still feels very disappointing. Feels as though we should have got points, 3 points there.
What needs to change for you then? I mean, just to round off.
Our club needs an exorcism, I think.
For the holy war in it. Anointment.
I don't know, just so much. It needs so much surgery, doesn't it? It's just unbelievable. But
literally, no lies. I think that medical staff. I think Levy needs to go
still
out.
Got the Darren Anderton medical staff, isn't he?
He needs to right now. I think he's got kids in there in that medical department without saying too much.
Yeah.
And he just needs to pay
for the next level up. Of
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he needs to invest in the medical department because I think we're skimping.
No, but the injuries aren't because of that. The injuries are because.
No, I know, but I'm just saying on top of that.
On top of
it's
always been a problem. Trust me, that's always been a problem even since the 90s.
Right then. So that's what I mean. Investment.
Yeah, on every level.
Like,
not
do you
just
know
the
what I mean?
Beyonce concerts.
Right then. Right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
All right. So, I think we're going to go into the fan show. Oh, we don't have anyone. We did have Ben Davies, didn't we?
Ben Davies enough. Forget this. You heard about exorcisms.
If you want to come on the fan show, is the link there for everyone?
Listen. Look. You don't have to come on.
No, you don't.
You don't have to.
No one wants to.
If you don't want to come on, I hear it. I go home early, and we don't talk about this no more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, look, I'm not mad at it. Well, obviously, for Ben and Sim's sake,
I'm sure Ben and Sim will come on, won't they? You'd think they'd come on.
No one. They're at the stadium.
They're
at the stadium doing their own
reaction.
Doing their own reaction at the stadium.
Right.
So.
We got one. Mitch. Have we? No, not yet. Just the names.
But I mean, if Ange was to get sacked, let's go
back into this.
Yeah. If Ange was to get sacked,
now you mean?
Yeah, because you were asking me, you were probing that kind of question. I felt like, if he loses, can he get the sack? Like, and I was like, no, I don't think he'll get the sack. Even if we lose, I don't think he'll get sacked. But if he was to get sacked, who would you want in?
Who would I want in?
Yeah, is there a manager are you thinking? That's not an easy question, by the way.
There's no one that really stands out for me, if I'm being honest with you. I mean...
if I gave you a choice then, we've been linked to this manager from Dortmund. He used to manage Dortmund, named Terzic. He got to the Champions League final with them, and he got second with them. Lost at the last game, I think it was. He lost that the Bundesliga, and he promotes a lot of the younger players. Now, some fans aren't a fan of him because tactically he does change things like a lot, and he was criticised in the Bundesliga for that reason, saying. But then at the same time, you're like, we're Spurs. Who are we to kind of like, turn our nose up? He's not good enough for us. We need the top manager. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, would you like? Right now, we're 11th.
I wouldn't make a decision now. Put it that way.
But I'm saying if he was to get sacked, would you say just keep Mason in then? Between Mason, Terzic,
let's just say it's going to be
Mason, Terzic, Areola, Marco Silva, and Thomas Frank. Who do you go for?
It's the Fulham manager.
You go for Fulham manager?
Yeah.
Marco Silva.
But it's like slim pickings though, isn't it? It's like, there's not much to choose from here, is there?
I mean, Areola is similar, I would say, to maybe like the Poch direction in terms of he went to, I can't remember the name of the team, in Spain, and he took them from the lower division up, and then he got them pushed up the table, and then obviously he's come to Bournemouth, and he's got Bournemouth in that top 6 talk. Do you know what I mean?